Good evening. I think it's pretty fair to say that I need more than 30 minutes to prep for one of these shows. I just got started stuffing flip inserts, so I'm going to wait a few minutes for anybody to show up that might want to be here, that has not yet received their confirmation or their notification, or that just remembers, hey, wait a minute, I think there might be a show tonight. I better go check. So I want everyone to be able to show up who can. We have 10 viewers right now and only 3 likes. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. It helps me with the search results when new people want to try to find us. And I definitely like for new people to find us. I like to spread the word about coin collecting. I like to give everybody as much information as I possibly can. Good evening now to Coin Junkie, Joe McBride, Thomas, Adam Chambers, Kevin Speaks, Jeff Dunn. A couple hours ago, we had a pretty big crowd show up, so I'll wait for a little while, see if more people will show up for us. Of course, my dumb YouTube is stuck on 10 viewers and 3 likes, and I know we've got more. Farm Dog, good evening, sir. Some of this seems to be like an echo or a broken record, but I enjoy broken records when they're good ones. Get to listen to the same song over and over and over again. I love that. See, there's always a positive side to everything. My record might be broken, but it happens to be broken on the song I like. That's the Bob Ross in me. Everybody gets a good thing. All they have to do is find the good in what they get. And if nothing else, if you're able to find good in something, you're alive. And even if it's not a great thing, and all you can find is that you're alive, well, you're going to get another day to experience more good. Yeah, I know that it's off because I see people coming in, but I don't see my numbers changing. So, there's Eric Beyer and Hawkeye. I enjoy you guys being here. I'm on number 34 now. I'm getting ready to go into 35, so I'm putting the flip inserts in as quickly as I possibly can. As soon as I get the flip inserts done, I will open the roll and I will get started. The roll this evening is a 1955D roll sourced through Adam Chambers. So if Adam Chambers is out there, he's being noticed. Hello, Adam. This is your roll. Kind of one of those, well, we're all too young, or most of us anyway, I'm sure, are too young to remember that show This Is Your Life, or What's My Line. What are we looking for in this roll? Well, it's a 1955D roll. 1955D famously supports 2 nice RPMs, which are rather common, not that difficult to find. But we've got a double die in 1955D that is a pretty nice double die obverse. If you get those in a nice BU condition, you're looking at a coin that can bring $75 or more. That would be the FS101 that Adam Chambers is mentioning now. So I have all 50 flip inserts done. I'm going to slide back here just a little bit and get my inserts in place. It still doesn't happen to work. I'm trying to get this stuff so that... What am I doing wrong? It's like I used to have this right, and now I've got it wrong. Oh, well, there's what's wrong. I've got them turned the wrong direction. There, now I should be able to see the numbers. Nope, still can't see the numbers. Oh, what's wrong with my... I've got to adjust this. I'm sorry, folks. I've got to spend a little bit of time with this to try to figure out what's going on wrong. I can't see my numbers on my flip inserts. So I'm going to go to the advanced settings on here. I'm going to take the brightness down quite a bit. That's why you couldn't see my coins earlier. because, well, in order to get this to show the numbers on the flip inserts, I have to have it too dark to show coins. That's what the problem was. So there we go. That's the best I can do. Let's see, if I toss a coin up there, you're going to be able, well, you can see it, but not so well. I've got to replace that camera. That camera is a piece of junk. It's a Logitech camera, but it's only a 720p camera. It's not a very good one. Okay, so here's our roll. I'm going to go ahead and start prying it open. This one is an original machine wrapped roll. It doesn't have a bank name on it. And I just found that the one that I had advertised as an original machine wrapped roll for tomorrow, it's a 1950, which one was it? The 1958 Philadelphia roll that I had up for tomorrow, I thought was just a machine wrapped roll, being a roll that's machine wrapped and says pennies on it, and that's about it. Well, I found out through poking around with stuff today and actually scheduling and photographing the roll and everything, it is a First National Bank of Baltimore, Maryland roll. So it is an original bank wrapped roll. That's the difference between now. A lot of these rolls, like this one that I'm opening right now, a lot of them are bank wrapped rolls, but because they don't have a bank name on them, I don't call them bank wrapped rolls because, well, we don't know for certain that it was a bank that wrapped it. You can't even see this roll. That's amazing. There it is. Yeah, this camera's got to go. I got to find something better to use. There is the roll of coins. You can't really see them very well, but you can sure see that number, and you'll be able to see that name real well. See if I can do anything about this. Blow this up a little bit more. It's about the best I'm going to be able to do for you. I'm sorry. So here we go. Got my bag ready to go. Got my coins ready to go. So we are here for a 1955 D roll. It's going to be a nice one, I think. That's the positive thinking in me. Got CVS now. Got Dynamac in here. I've got to break my chat out of the window and slide it over to the other side so I can actually see what's going on. Greet everyone who is more recent in here. If I've missed anyone, I'm sorry. Adam Chambers, Jeff Dunn, Joe McBride, Farm Dog, CVS, Dynamac. I think I've caught everybody at this point. Jim Fletcher. Hey, Jim. And Dennis Paulson. All right, here we go. Jim Fletcher will get the first coin in the roll. And here is the first coin in the roll. It's a nice looking coin. Let me get my lighting just right on this. Oh, this one's got a scratch on it that I didn't notice. Scratch runs basically all the way across the coin. I could dust this one off a little bit, but I can tell what's on it without dusting it off, and there is nothing on the mint mark. And it looks like nothing on the date on this particular coin, so let's keep moving. Not a doubled eyelid either. Nothing in the motto. Nothing on Liberty. Let's take a look at the reverse and see if there's anything on the reverse. 1955D is not very well known for double die reverses either. Only got a couple of double die obverses that anyone really knows of. Got a number of nice RPMs. And no real double die reverses that we know of. We're always after the FS listed coin. Everybody wants the FS listed coin. All right, there's coin number one. Let's move on to coin number two. Coin number two will go to Adam Chambers. Oops. Adam Chambers, coin number two. Here it is. Nice, bright, shiny, uncirculated coin. Got a little tiny bit of an RPM here, but this one's not enough to call it. You got just a little tiny spread. I don't know. Let me bring it up closer and see if it's anything that we can actually deal with. Sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot. Yeah, the spread is very tiny on this one. Too tiny, in fact, to count. You can see just a little bit of light underneath the upper serif. That's a piece of a bottom serif sticking out. And then you can barely see a split in the lower serif there. So we're just not going to count this one. It's just not enough. There is some chance I could change my mind during the roll, and of course I'll find these again and go back through the roll. But I don't see anything here that I can really pull out to be a double dement mark right off the bat. For now, we skip it. There's a struck through here on the reverse. There's a little struck through at the bottom of the T of cent. I'm looking to see if there's any lines that show me the doubling that I think I'm kind of seeing. Pardon me while I get my eyeballs adjusted here, folks. Trying to be completely fair to all coins. And this one is not a double die. I thought for a moment that it might be a really minor double die, but it is not. And so Adam Chambers gets himself a normal coin, coin number 2. And we keep plodding through this roll. Coin number 3 now. Coin number 3 will go to Deanne. Coin number 3 for Deanne, and this is coin number 3. Really minor upper split serif. I'm not going to call this one either. Just not enough there. Not enough there. I move over to the reverse. Take a look at the reverse real quick. Nothing there either. So we're 3 for 3 normal coins right now. Very unlike the last roll we went through. 5 out of the first 6 coins were RPMs in the last roll. We do have a 1970S original machine wrapped roll coming up tomorrow morning at noon. Well, tomorrow morning is noon. Morning, noon, whatever. It's morning to most people. It's a really shiny 55D Lincoln cent here, and it does look like it could possibly be a minor RPM. So I'll take a very close look at it to see. No, I'm not pulling anything out of it. It's a little bit extra thick, but there's no splits in the serifs. So unfortunately, done with that one before we ever really get started. No doubling on the I. No doubling in the motto. Yeah, but this roll that we've got coming up tomorrow, the 1970S roll, is an original bank wrapped roll. So we have no idea what's inside of it, and these are always exciting because you never know what you're going to find. A lot of double dies, 1970S. There's small dates. Some of the double dies are rare, and a few of them are valuable, and one of them is humongous. The one that's humongous, rivals the 1969 S double die, both in visibility and rarity. Very high value coins. Hello, John L. Alright, Kevin speaks. Now, got no RPMs yet, but we're still hopeful. Still definitely hopeful. Got nothing on this coin. If nothing else, we've got nice coins here. These coins are in pretty nice condition. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with getting cute coins, even if they aren't die varieties, right? This one is normal. And that's coin number 5 for Kevin Speaks. Moving on now to coin number 6. Alejandro. And the Madonna song, Alejandro. People trying to punk me earlier. Make me think that I was wrong. Okay, we do have a split serif RPM here. This one's got a split in the lower serif. It is big enough to deal with, and I do believe there's something down below the mint mark there. There is something standing out down below the mint mark. It makes me think that could be part of a third mint mark punch, but it's hard to tell under this scope. It's right there in the field. So this one is going to be a listable RPM. It does have double split serifs, and it does have something down below the mint mark that stands out. Makes me think that there could be part of another mint mark there. So we're going to pull this one out. We're going to call it die number 1. Die number 1 for the roll. Alejandro, coin number 6. I went a little too far there. Let's find a marker. Well, we do have a marker in that there is that dot below the D, but there's also a little die scratch coming off the vest toward the 9. We can definitely use that. And move around, take a look for anything else on this coin. And we do have, see, there's a die scratch coming off the N of in toward the G. But kind of like this die scratch because it actually goes from the lapel of the coat all the way through the vest toward the 9 of the date. So we'll use that as our chief marker for this particular RPM. We have a minor split serif RPM here. This one is going to go to Alejandro. Alejandro. So we got our first RPM of the roll. Love it, love it, love it. Go ahead and stick Alejandro's coin in the holder. And move on to coin number 7. Coin number 7, also for Alejandro. I reached in and pulled from a completely different part of the bag and got his name again. So let's see what we got this time. Sometimes one right next to the other is a lucky thing, and sometimes it's not. So I wouldn't recommend trying it one way or the other. I would just let it go with the flow because it seems to be a total mix. Okay, we've got no RPM on this coin. No RPM here. We've got no double die. That's a fiber laying on the cheek. Pretty nice looking coin too. I'll flip it over and take a look at the other side. And we have nothing of interest going on the reverse of this coin. It's a pretty nice coin, but there is nothing going on here for us to continue looking at. So, coin number 7 goes in the bag, gets tagged, Alejandro's name, goes on the normal pile. Let's take a look at coin number 8. Coin number 8 will be going to Eric Beyer. And Eric Beyer, another normal coin, as it appears at the moment. Maybe not. Yeah, it is. Another normal one. Kind of a later dice date coin. Oof. Got some scrapes in the field out there. Okay, let's take a look at the reverse and see what we come up with. Nothing there either, as it appears. A little bit rough. Alright, so Eric gets a normal coin. This is coin number 8 in the roll. A little dust or pollen or something getting after me outside. Went for a walk with the dog earlier and somebody was mowing the yard and a bunch of dust flying up. I don't know why, because we've had like 3 inches of rain in the last 2 weeks. It's not dry here at all. We had a lot of dust coming up out of the grass that this guy was mowing. And man, I couldn't stop sneezing. It was horrible. I had to get a block away before I could stop sneezing. Dog was looking at me kind of funny, like, what's gotten into you? Well, I don't know, buddy. Whatever it is, it's not good. He looked at me like I had just stolen his birthday. So I said, dude, why are you walking so fast? Well, I'm walking so fast so I don't blow my head off. A funny dog he is. But he's mine. Joe McBride, coin number 10. Joe McBride will get coin number 10. Let's take a look at what coin number 10 is. Okay, so we've got not an RPM. A little spot right there on the date. Take a look around and see what we can find. I think I've decided that for the roll reveals, for the time being at least, I'm going to use this scope. And then for my roll digs, I might try to use the other scope because it's a little bit different. I can line the coins up on the stick and just go under the scope with the stick. Well, this one's not the prettiest coin. What is wrong with you? Oh, you've got a little bit of brown on you. A little spotty. Sorry, Mr. McBride. Got you a spotty coin. Stained, not spotty really, because they're not black spots, it's just brown. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's an RPM. This one's different from the other one. This one's actually different enough that it'd be really easy to tell the difference because this one has a die crack running across the bottom of the vest right there. And you can actually see the secondary mint mark on the inside of the primary mint mark, as well as the doubled upper serif and the doubled lower serif. So you've got a number of features that are very different about this mint mark than the last one that we looked at. Definitely a second RPM for the roll. Definitely a die number 2 for the roll. Now you can see that very well. A little dark spot on the inside near the hole of the mint mark shows the secondary vertical bar coming underneath the primary vertical bar on the top, which kind of answers for why the extra serif on the top. But if you look, those two mint marks get kind of mixed up as you go down. The lower one becomes the upper and the upper one becomes the lower as you go down the mint mark. And that gives us what is known as a tilted mint mark. Neither one of these mint marks are the primary and neither one are the secondary. So you've got the upper serif underneath belongs to the serif on the top, or the over serif on the bottom. So the under serif on the top belongs to the over serif on the bottom, and then the over serif on the top belongs to the under serif on the bottom. So the two mint marks are actually tilted against one another. You've got split serifs, but you can't tell which one was put in first, which one was put in last, which one's primary, which one's secondary. So it's a very easy mark for a tilted repunch mint mark. That's exactly what they look like. This one's a very nice example. This has north and south die scratches running through the date area, but you've got this one interesting die scratch crack running into the front of the vest and going across part of the lapel, and I'm not really sure that's part of the die. That could actually be something on the coin. So let's look for a better marker, something that's more permanent, something that's easier to see, something we'll be able to find easily. Because I don't know if all that chatter down there belongs to the die or if it belongs to this coin. Let's see. Let me wipe this just a little bit. I want to see what's stuck to the coin and what's not. Yeah, see, that little chatter thing gets even lighter, so it may not be something that's actually part of the coin. But we do have... Yeah, let's see. Do have a couple of die scratches inside the bottom of the coat. But we've got that one thing I just cannot seem to shake. Is you've got a die scratch running north from the D straight through between the 9 and the 5. So we're just going to use that. We're just going to call this with the die scratches running north and south through the date. Let's take a look at the reverse of this coin. See if there's anything on the reverse that we need to be talking about. Instead of beating on RPM to death, we've got nothing on the reverse to really talk about on this one. So Jeff Dunn is going to get a nice example of a tilted RPM. And that's going to be die number 2 for the roll. And, well, hello, Lady Spitfire. Yeah, how times have changed. Adam Chambers. I guess when it comes to injustice, COVID can take a back seat, right? Yeah, let's see. We have a late die state coin here. It's not an RPM. Doesn't appear to be a double die of any kind on the obverse. So let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see what we get on the reverse. Another late die state coin. It's going to be hard to tell if it is anything. So we're just going to move on. Bag and tag this one for Adam Chambers, coin number 12. Move on to coin number 13 in the roll. Society has a very, very short attention span these days. Pretty much anything that the mainstream media is feeding is exactly what these people are grazing on. And they will go from one field to another at the snap of a finger. It's a very dangerous thing, and it could get even more dangerous before it gets better. But I, for one, have chosen to be a non-participant in society at this moment. So for the time being, I'm just staying in my house, not going anywhere. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anything to do, except be right here with you fine people. Hello, Brian Allen. How are you doing, brother? I see you and Chris are getting out and enjoying the lake. I wish I could be there with you. Got nothing on that one. And that was a lucky but not so lucky coin number 13. Got no place to go. And I feel great about that. I feel great about being home. Home is where I hang my hat. These days I don't use a hat because I don't really go anywhere. Ida Herring. Let's see what Ida Herring has. Another normal 1955 cent as it appears at the moment. Yeah. It's a normal 1955 cent. So it looks like it could have a little extra thickness around. Let's see if I can see any more of that. Don't really see any sign of it anywhere else, so we're going to call this one a normal coin and move on, as we need to do. from time to time. And looks like we've got nothing on the reverse of this one either. Sitting at the lake, all 9 fingers. Brian, is your little finger issue, is it still there? Are you still having problems? Oh, let's see here. Mike Birchman, coin number 15. Let's see if we can find him something good for coin number 15. Well, it's not a big thing, but it is an RPM. It's a relatively minor 1955D RPM. Let's take a look and see if we can find any of the markers for the die 1 or the die 2. You see, die 1, it would have to be a die 1 if anything, because it doesn't have the spread of die 2. So, and when I mention die numbers here, I'm mentioning die numbers specifically because that's as they relate to this roll. I'm basically assigning temporary die numbers as we go through this roll so that we can put them in piles according to which die is which. And I do believe this is a new one. I believe this is a die number 3 for the roll because I don't remember seeing this die crack on the head before. So we'll put this one out as die number 3 for the roll for Mike Birchman. It's coin number 15 now. Let's take a look at the reverse and see if anything happened on the reverse before they let this one go from the mint. And I don't really see anything here. So we're going to put Mike's name on that one, stick it over here as die number 3 for the time being. We're going to go to the next person in the roll. The next person in the roll will be Jim Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher, if you're around, this coin's for you. What do we have here? We do have an RPM. We do have an RPM for sure. I can't tell right now if this is one of our known RPMs. We do have, what is that, a little die crack running across the vest or across the jacket. Looks like we've got a die crack running across the jacket. Let me make sure that's not a fiber sitting on it. Not a fiber. It is a die crack. It actually goes most of the way down the shoulder. So this is going to be a new die as well. So now we're running into a 1955 roll with multiple RPMs in it. So we'll be able to remember that one. So it's a upper split serif for sure. I think it's also a lower split serif. Alright, so we'll call the shot on that one. That's going to be die number 4 now. Die number 4 has the big crack across the lapel and shoulder and another smaller hit or mark down below the crack. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Get to a big coin show. But you know what? This is actually kind of cathartic because I've gone from a point of loading up with more coins and more coins and more coins every month to a point now where having to figure out what I've got and do something with it because I don't have any new stuff. But I do have new stuff coming in the mail, but I don't have any new stuff that I've cherried at the shows. Okay, this is a late die state coin. I think this one matches the other late die state coin die that we've seen. So for now, what we can do is we can probably have get-togethers where we can photograph coins together and shoot the bull about our military past or something like that. It just sounds like fun. Sounds like something to do. Over nachos, some cheese dip. Extra metal on the top of the one. Where are we talking about with that? You talking about like up on the top? Because I know that there's a lot of people who see the split on the top of the B and they think that is something special, and it turns out that all of them have it. This one does, but it's really difficult to see. This particular coin is not a very great example of a 55D because it is a later dice date coin. Where do I find major coin shows? Well, these days you don't. They've all been shut down. But we live in the southeastern U.S., which isn't too far away, to go to Atlanta, Charlotte, Columbia, South Carolina. We could do Macon, Georgia if it came up. This is a nice one, folks. A nice little RPM going on right here. A very nice. I think this might be. Is this the same die as number 2 for the roll? Same die as number 2 for the roll, perhaps? I'll show you the split on the top of the B and the top of the E of Liberty. It's on all 1955 cents. You can kind of see it there. Let me brighten it up a little bit. Well, you can see how the top of the B is doubled and how the top of the E... Oh, there goes my lamp. I'll wait for it to come back here. There we go. There. You can see doubling at the top of the B and the top of the E in Liberty. This is normal. For a 1955 Lincoln cent, they are very normal. Alright. Now, let's move on. Move on, move on. We do have a nice RPM here. I do not believe that we've seen this die yet today. So this is new for us. It looks like a rotated RPM rather than a tilted. It looks more like a rotated RPM. Alright, so let's take a look at the reverse now. See if we have anything of note on the reverse. And gotta focus this thing again. Good gosh. Yeah, but we're not likely to have any major coin shows this year at all. The fun show has already canceled for the summer. So that's it for Orlando. Not having a fun show. I think we're going to end up running into a circumstance here where we're going to just start stacking RPMs again because we're getting too many different RPMs for me to keep up with them. But we do have nice RPMs. And nothing on this coin. This is coin number 19. Coin number 19 is going to Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining, and we don't have anything to look at on the obverse of this one, unfortunately. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see if anything happened over there. And I don't see anything here either. Either, neither, neither, whichever you wish to pronounce. I can't remember which one Jessica doesn't like, because it works for me either way. Either way? Either way. Either way. Doesn't make any difference. Different people are going to pronounce these in different ways. Andrew O'Neill, did you get an RPM there or not? I can't remember now. I'm getting old, folks. As soon as I turn around, I forget everything. Alright, we do not have an RPM here, so let's move on to coin number 20. Had a little tiny spider crawl across my desk, and I can't find it now. Chuck Patillo. Chuck Patillo gets coin number 20. Yeah, let's get refocused. And this is coin number 20. This looks like the really, really, really minor one that we found earlier that I decided not to call the shot on. And I'm going to treat it the same way this time. I'm not going to call a shot on that one. I'm not going to call it a RPM because it's too minor to photograph, basically. It's just barely there. Now, Adam, you need to make sure that you wait until those plate coins are actually listed on copper coins. Because if you send them too early and they get them before they're listed on copper coins, they will not call them plate coins. Write them a letter and make sure that they understand what we're talking about with plate coins. I still need to call the president and talk to him about it to make sure that he understands that if they charge the variety fee, they should just put plate coin on the holder. John Brandon Bowe gets coin number 21 now. Coin number 21 to John Brandon Bowe. We do have a nice marker. A little die scratch. Ooh, we've also got a lot of chatter going on this coin. But we don't have any doubling. You're talking about this, aren't you? That's normal, buddy. That thing on top of the one there, that is normal. Yep, that shows up on 1955s quite often. Different dates have different things. 1971 also has one of those. It shows up on the top. 1969 has one on the bottom. Different years, basically, if you find something that kind of looks like doubling and you see it repeatedly over different dies, you can be pretty sure it's a master die issue. I'm not exactly sure what causes that. I do believe it's a master die issue. Either way, I've learned to just skip over it, just like the doubling on the top of the B and the E. I've learned to just skip over it with 1955 because it's so common, it can't possibly have any value. Ooh, this coin's got spots. I don't like spots. Yuck, yuck. Well, that's John Brandon Bowe, coin number 21. Let's move on to coin number 22. Coin number 22 is for John L. This is John L's first coin with us. Very first reveal he's made it into. And let's see what we end up with. Well, it's a big fat D, but it doesn't have any doubling. This matches a die that we looked at earlier. No doubling on it, so we can't call it an RPM. And I'm going to go with a no on the double die lid. Or maybe it is. That does look like a double die lid after all. Let me zoom in on it. Let's come back here. There we go. Yep, we do have a double die lid. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to preliminarily call it a double die lid, but when I look at it with my stereoscope, I may change my mind. So this one may not be a double die lid, but I'm going to pull it off to the side anyway, because it looks like there's a chance it could be. So I'm going to take a better, closer look at this one later after I get finished with the show. Go back through the roll, take a look at it, see what we've got. May be and may not be. Let's take a look at the reverse. Got nothing of particular interest on the reverse. This is coin number 22 going to John L. So I'm going to pull it off to the side as a possible double die lid. And now coin number 23. John Brandon Bowe. John Brandon Bowe for coin number 23. His last coin wasn't all that nice. It had spots all over it. And this one, while it looks like it's a decent coin, it does not have an RPM. It is not FS 101. It does not have a double eyelid. I don't see anything in the motto either. Nor on Liberty. So we're going to flip this one over and take a look at the reverse and see what happened on the reverse of this one. Oh, look, this one's toned. This one's got some nice toning on it. Man, that's some excellent color. Holy moly, that's a nice coin. This thing's got color all over it. No double die, but man, there's some nice color in there. Nice one for John Brandon Bow there. Let me bring this up and see if it shows the color any better at a distance. Yeah, look at that. There's color all over that guy. That's kind of sweet. I like that. See, it just kind of looks dingy under this zoom. It looks kind of dingy, but when I bring it out, you can see all the luster on it. I knew there was good luster on this coin because I can see it. Sitting here staring at the back of the coin, I know exactly what it looks like, and it's nice. John Brandon Bow, coin number 23. And here's coin number 24. Coin number 24 goes to Shannon McCord. Almost halfway through this roll. Coin number 24 to Shannon McCord. And this one is not an RPM. It's not a double die. I know this marker. It's a little scratch going straight out of the vest toward the D. Seen it. I already seen it a few times. I have seen this before. Alright. Dunamac loves rainbows. He's got rainbows all over it. I'm not seeing anything there. So we can move on from coin number 24 and get to halfway through the roll at coin number 25. Now batting cleanup, number 25, Kevin. Speaks. And let's see here. Hello, Ida. Not an RPM, not a double die. Relatively nice coin. And nothing up my sleeve. We just have a normal coin here. Unfortunately, this is a normal coin for Kevin Speaks, and that puts us halfway through the roll. That's right, a swing and a miss. Now, Farm Dog, coin number 26. Not an RPM. Not a double die. Let's flip it over on the reverse and see if we can find anything on the reverse. No luck on the obverse. And so far, no luck on the reverse either. So there we have it. Decent but normal coin for Farm Dog. Well, hello, Farm Dog. You just walked in the nick of time to see one of your coins, coin number 26. Turns out to be a normal coin, but it is a pretty nice one. Paul Hampton here. Paul Hampton gets an RPM. This is one of the RPMs that we've been finding. I cannot tell you right now which die it was, which is why I'm just piling them all up just like it did the previous roll. The 54D roll produced so many different RPMs I couldn't keep up with them, and this one is doing basically the same thing. A little minor upper split serif on this one. And so I will keep moving right along. Got nothing on the reverse of this one, and this one is going to Paul Hampton. So put it over on the pile of RPMs and just keep moving. Thomas, coin number 28 now. This is coin number 28. Let's see, what do I have here? So it looks like it's normal. Normal coin, not an RPM, not a doubled I. Nothing on Liberty. I look at the reverse, and the reverse is a late die state. And a pretty late die state reverse here. It's kind of mushy. Got a lot of flow lines. So we're going to move this one right along. Coin number 28 now, Thomas. Unfortunately, just a regular coin. That's Thomas, coin number 28. Let's look at coin number 29 now. Coin number 29 is Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. And Andrew O'Neill's coin, you know, this one's also a normal one. It's got a little bug eating his chin. Take a look at the reverse here and see if there's anything on the reverse that we need to discuss. Gus. We do not have an RPM or a double die with that coin. Let's take a look at the next one. Deanne comes out of the bag swinging, and let's see what happens. Yeah. Looks like we do not have an RPM here. Oh, man, I hate this. Oh, spots. I hate it when we have a roll that produces part of the roll and doesn't produce in other parts of the roll, and people end up with blanks fired at them, and other times they get really amazing coins. But I guess that's what we're doing this for. I just wish everyone could get an FS 101 out of this. That'd be really cool. But unfortunately, it just isn't going to work that way. Orig goes next. That's coin number 31. Coin number 31 for Orig, and we have another, what appears to be a normal 1955D Lincoln cent. It is pretty much a gamble. And however the bank put the rolls together, where there might have been 4 or 5 different bags here. Who knows exactly what went into this particular count. Generally, it's a one bag at a time type thing, and they wrap them up as they go through one bag, and then they go through another bag. But sometimes they could be mixing it up. You never know. They never cared. All they were doing was wrapping up 50 coins at a time. They didn't care when they came from, where they came from, why they got there, or anything else. Why does a 45S always look like an inverted S? I don't know. They don't to me. I think it's because 45S is one of the years that uses the ball serif mint mark. And the ball serif mint mark, the normal orientation of the ball serif mint mark on Lincoln cents is actually upside down. So if you find the inverted mint mark, you're actually finding one that's right side up. The ball part that shows up at the top is supposed to be on the bottom. And then a little triangle trumpet tail that's on the bottom is supposed to be on the top. But if you look at it in normal orientation as they minted the coins, it appears that the top curve area is a little bit larger than the bottom curve area. Well, that's because it's actually upside down. So there's the answer. All right, coin number 33. Thomas. And so nothing going on there. A little spot in Liberty. Late die state coin. Late die state reverse anyway. Reverse, whichever one you want to call it. Get that one in holder number 33. I see we're an hour into the show. Number 34, Yeoman Go. See, I changed you. I changed you to Yeoman. Yeoman. Nice looking coin. Nothing on the obverse. And we got nothing on the reverse. So that's coin number 34 in the roll. Moving on now to coin number 35. Coin number 35 will go to Ida Herring. This one is for Ida. Unfortunately, we have a normal coin on this one as well. Ew, this one's kind of spotty. So must have got stuck in the machine or something. Somebody picked it up with chocolate all over their hands. Ouch. Well, it's not really spotty so much as it's just got like a brown fingerprint on the reverse. Ida, get a hold of me later. We'll give you credit for this one. This one doesn't work for me. I don't like it. Coin number 36. Coin number 36. Paul Hampton. Notice I spelled his name correctly this time. It's not Hatmaton, it's Hampton. Run into this die again, huh? Fat D, but nothing to say for it. This is the one that was the possible doubled eyelid, though. So that makes it easy to pick out because it has a fat D. So we're going to pull this one off to the side for Paul Hampton. That'll be along with John L's coin. John L. and Paul Hampton both had the same die. So I'm going to take a good look at this one and make sure that it's a doubled eyelid before I decide to photograph and list it. And if it turns out not to be, unfortunately, you'll just receive the coin. If it turns out to be so, it's going to be listed, photographed, and listed on the website as a new die. And your flip inserts will be changed to reflect that. Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. It's coin number 37. Coin number 37 shows me, well, it's a normal coin. No doubling on coin number 37. Let's finish going through this one. Take a look on the reverse for anything that comes up to discuss. Gus. This is a late die state coin, so it's going to be very difficult to pick out anything minor, even if it's there. Anything major would be very visible, but we don't have anything major on the reverse that we know of on the 1955 D Lincoln cent. Nothing known yet. So that's coin number 37. Moving on to coin number 38. Oh, this is turning out to be a very strange roll. We've got a whole bunch of different dies. We have about 1 coin of each of them. A very mixed condition roll. Kind of wondering if this is actually an original roll. The coins are all decent though. Well, most of them. And this one's for Orig. Moving on to the next coin. The next coin is Adam Chambers again. Let's take a look at what we get for Adam. Nothing there. Nothing up here. Nor down there. So let's flip it over and take a look at the other side. While we have a somewhat attractive coin, we do not have any doubling. So we'll move on from this one. Go on to coin number 40. Coin number 40 goes to Mr. Worley. James Worley will get this coin. Let's see what we have. Well, got nothing for an RPM. Nothing for a double die on the obverse. Let's flip it over and look at the reverse and see what we can find there. Not seeing anything of any particular concern. If you did see any doubling on the back there, I believe it was machine doubling that I saw. Definitely was not a hub double die though. And moving on now to coin number 41. Coin number 41 will go to Shannon McCord. We've seen this die before. This one is not a double die or RPM. Got nothing there. Now, the way that the Fed Reserve banks did their thing is that coins would be turned back into them occasionally, and they would roll pretty much anything they had. So if they had some rolls that needed to be torn down and rolled back up, they would do that. They would roll straight out of mint bags. They would also roll out of bags that came back from banks. It's an interesting little die scratch off the top corner of the D. So we are not 100% going to run into the idea that every roll that you get from the Fed Reserve comes straight out of a mint bag. And this one, was this one a Fed Reserve? No, this was Bank of America, I do believe. So being that it was Bank of America, it's probably even less likely that's going to be an original mint bag, although it could be. James Worley. Next coin, number 43. Oh, this is RPM number 3. This is an FS listed coin. Really, really nice. You've got a D over D with a D out to the east. So that this is FS 103, RPM number 3, or FS, might be FS 101 or 501. But it's definitely a nice one. This one's for James Worley. This is an FS listed coin here. So whatever happened here, we did not have someone searching for varieties, because they would have definitely pulled this coin out. Relatively nice, pretty clean looking coin here. Congrats to James Worley pulling out that one. Nice RPM. Alright, I'm going to put that one in a special little place. And now for coin number 44. Let's pull out a name for coin number 44 and see what it is. Mike Birchman. Mike Birchman will get coin number 44. What is it? And it's a stain. Stain, a little bit of toning. Okay. Got nothing on that coin. Let's get to the next one, coin number 45. Coin number 45 will go to Ida Herring. We do have a few coins left in the roll, so we do still have chances. Pulling out more good stuff. This one is a minor split serif, split lower serif, so this is an RPM. Take a look at the reverse and see what we get there, and then I'll put it on the special RPM pile and go back over it later and see if it's one that we could list, or it may already be listed, who knows. Not I right now. There's too many different ones for me to be able to figure out right now whether or not it's already listed. Minor RPM for Ida Herring. And now for coin number 46. Coin 46 goes to Joe McBride. Got 5 coins left. Coin number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is number 5. I'm definitely going to have to look at that rise out there. That looks like it could be a very distant doubled eyelid, although I kind of doubt it. But I'll look at it anyway. Now let's take a look at the reverse and see if there's anything on the reverse of this one. Nothing there. That's coin number 46. That one goes to Joe McBride. I'm going to put it on the stack over here with the other eyelid, so I'll remember to look at the eyes on this one. All right, let's see. Jim Fletcher. Let's see what Jim Fletcher ends up with here. Got nothing on the mint mark. Looks like we've got nothing on the date. As I tour around the coin, it looks like a very nice condition coin. Very nice bright Jim BU coin. Got a spot on the reverse. Well, other than that spot, it's a really nice coin. All right, Orig gets coin number 48. We're down to 3 coins left in the roll here. It's a very interesting die scratch. If that's a die scratch. It is a die scratch. It's a very interesting one. One single heavy, perfectly straight die scratch running across the field. We don't have anything else on this coin. No double die, no repunchment mark on the obverse. Taking a look now on the reverse. Looks like we're going to end up with another normal coin here, which is exactly what we've got. Another normal coin. That's coin number 48 for Orig. Now coin number 49. Coin number 49 will go to Mike Birchman. Mike Birchman will get this coin. Don't see anything on this one right now. Does have some toning on it. Toning in a few little tiny spots. Looks like some of these coins had been sitting in a bag before they were rolled. Got nothing on this one. That's coin number 49 for Mike Birchman. Now the very last coin in the roll will go to Yo Man. And we have a toner. We have a cute toner. That's a nice color on that coin. But we have no die variety on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we come up with. This is a side that was facing in, which is why it's all red. The other side is what was facing out. It looks really nice when you just look at the coin. When you look at it under this magnification, the color doesn't show up quite as well. But there we go. That's all 50 coins in this roll. And what we end up with is a pretty substantial stack of normal coins. At that right there. Pretty substantial stack there of normal coins. And then I'm going to put all of the more minor RPMs together. I'm going to count all of these out together because they're going to have to be pulled apart under a microscope. So right now I'm not sure how many different dies we have here, but we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 coins that are RPMs, minor RPMs. That's number 45, 27, 18, number 6, number 11, number 15, and number 16. Then we have 3 coins that appear to be doubled eyelids. Coin number 22, coin number 36, and coin number 46. These coins belong to Joe McBride, John L., and Paul Hampton. And then for the cherry pick prize of the roll, we ended up with one example of RPM number 3. It's a D over D over D, tilted and east. It's coin number 43, which is going to James Worley. So that's what we've got in this roll. Join me tomorrow at noon. We're going to be doing a 1970S roll. And then at 3 in the afternoon tomorrow, it'll be a 58 Philadelphia Baltimore First National Bank roll. And then at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening will be a 1945D original machine wrapped roll. That's going to be one of the feature rolls of the week. And then Friday, we're going to be doing at 3 p.m., we're going to be doing a 1955S Fed Reserve Bank of Portland roll. That's Portland, Oregon. And then later on in the evening, we're going to open a roll, a tubed roll of 1937D uncirculated Lincoln cents. That's going to be Friday at 9 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I appreciate everyone showing up this evening. And I am exhausted. I've done 4 reveals today. and I'm ready to go to bed. So I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later.